We are taking the Bucs at home plus 2.5. Eagles off a massive, gritty, tough win. Bucs get absolutely dogged by the Broncos as touchdown favorites at home. I understand, there's going to be an argument for revenge spot for Philly after they get blown out in the playoffs last year. I would argue this is a significantly worse team after losing some veterans, Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox, arguably two of the better players on the team in terms of veteran presence. Jalen Hurts on the road, not nearly as good, especially as a favorite. He's 7-14-1 against the spread as an away favorite. And then most importantly are just the slew of key injuries. We've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Lane Johnson all were absent from practice today. Smith, I would be absolutely shocked if he played. He was knocked unconscious a few days ago. Lane Johnson also dealing with a concussion. And then A.J. Brown, hamstring injury, which
he's not playing.
Can very much flare out. They said 2 to 3 weeks. This would be week 3. They have a bye next week, so I would be surprised, honestly, if any of those guys play. I feel like you don't force it on the road in a tough spot in terms of, just weather-wise. This is a really tough place to play. Eagles without Lane Johnson, 14-22 straight up. He's kind of the heart and soul of that offense.
I'm having PTSD because when Lane got hurt, as you probably know, I'm very close with a ton of Philly fans. And this has been a narrative for many years, through Wentz, through Foles, through any quarterback. Lane is their equivalent of Trent Williams. When he's out, they're not good. So when he went down, that was actually when I live bet the Saints. The Saints just couldn't do anything on Sunday. But this is where, I continue to harp on this throughout the show. I always feel like if we don't get a key number, at least get the 3, that it's just like worthless points, that we're just betting on them to win straight up. That's what makes me nervous. I don't know if Tampa's going to win the game. Obviously, they could lose by 1 or 2, but getting that 3 is so vital for me.
I understand.
But the spot makes sense. The spot makes complete sense.
I'm pretty confident that Tampa is the slightly better team right now. Okay. I saw Vita Vea is back on the practice field wearing a knee brace. That big. Would be key. That's big. Yeah, with these wide receiver injuries. All they're going to do is run with Saquon. So if Vea's a go, I'm even more confident in this.
Here's my concern, and I just don't have a good grip on Philly, right? I don't know what Kellen Moore has made this offense, and more importantly, I don't know if Vic Fangio is a pro or a con for them yet, right? In week 2 against Atlanta, they kind of looked like the worst secondary again, and then they run into Clint Kubiak and this high-flying Saints offense, and the Saints couldn't do a damn thing. So I just don't have them figured out. The spot makes sense. I think we can. Is anyone using an X? They love Philly in this one.
No, I'm good with it.
Okay. All right.
I have zero feel on this game. Teased Tampa Bay from 2.5 up to 8.5. That is a good rule here. Something like this is use the 2-point rule, right? So if you like Tampa Bay, Uppy, move it from plus 2.5 to plus 4.5. I'd imagine you'd really like Tampa Bay at 4.5. Move it down to pick. You're telling me you still pretty much like him at a pick. So that's usually a good barometer for something like this.
I've never heard that before. I think that's something we should clip out and actually post because I think it is a good strategy. That's actually what I've been trying to convey, Tim. I don't know why I haven't pulled that out earlier, but I was saying I don't love Tampa at pick, and I think that shows. But if Uppy does, that's cool.